Two innocent people gunned down for no apparent reason.
There is no forced entry into the residence.
3 shots were fired, and we have 2 deaths. They are either the luckiest shooter in the world, or they're really good at it.
After a vexing series of dead-end leads, Kenda is forced to employ a strategy of last resort.
They've already killed twice. They wouldn't hesitate to kill again. So I do something then that I rarely do.
In my career, I have never seen Kenda do this ever before.
I am life, and everything else is death. Make your choice. It's the saddest thing when an innocent person dies over nothing, because it's never for anything. It's always for nothing. There's one thing that never changes: murder. A life has been taken. Their stories are now my stories. I'm Lieutenant Joe Kenda. I've solved nearly 400 homicides. Somebody has to take control. Somebody has to look out for the victim. I never know where a case is going to lead, but I'll never stop until it's solved.
In the basement of the Brittany House apartment complex, maintenance man Frank Lee is fixing a broken water heater.
He hears a commotion when he's in the basement, and it's a fairly noisy apartment complex, and he didn't think anything about it. He continues working on the water heater.
But when Frank emerges from the basement, he finds a scene of complete chaos.
There were a lot of flashing red lights, and he hears sirens coming toward the complex.
Just don't know, really.
Guys, what's going on?
I don't know. I've been in 21.
It seems that something terrible has happened in apartment 21.
And he runs up there, and he tries to get to the apartment.
Can't come in here right now, sir, okay?
The police stopping, but not before he sees 2 bodies laying on the floor.
A little over a mile away, Lieutenant Joe Kenda is on the scene of another crime.
Go for Kenda.
When this particular case came forward, I was working another shooting, and I had a team of detectives there.
Dispatch tells Kenda there's been an apparent double homicide.
10-4, Kenda out. You're gonna have to take this one, Butler. Make sure you get everything under control, and I'll be there as soon as I'm done here. On my way, sir.
I had trained Sergeant Butler for a period of several months to be a backup person in homicide call-out because I just can't be everywhere all the time.
Once Kenda determines that the victim of the first crime is going to survive, he breaks away and heads to the crime scene on Arvada Street.
This is a low-income housing area. There are lots of people in these buildings that have long criminal histories. When I arrived there, Butler had done exactly as I'd trained him.
Nice work, Butler. Thanks, Lieutenant. So what do we got? Got 2 Vics, both pronounced on scene, and both have already been transported. Now, can you take me to the officer that first went in the apartment? Yeah, I'll take you to him.
They find a woman who they identified as Colleen Johnson. She's 36 years old. She is the tenant of apartment 21. So from what the officer describes to me, Colleen Johnson died instantly. She didn't have a chance to move off that sofa. The sofa has very little blood, even though there's an exit wound, because she doesn't move very far and she's sitting upright, so gravity doesn't have an opportunity to drain the chest cavity of blood, so probably most of the blood is contained within her body.
The second victim is Luis Matos, a 29-year-old sales clerk.
Where'd they find him? Right there on the floor.
He has been shot twice. once in the upper shoulder with an exit wound, and a central chest wound with no exit.
Kenda inspects the door for evidence of a break-in.
There's no damage to the door frame or to the door itself. Nobody kicked this door in.
Whoever did this must have known him. They didn't break the door in.
It's always extremely helpful when I get the feeling or the sense that the killer is known to these victims. From everyone to someone in their circle of acquaintances.
It looks like Lewis was on the couch when he got shot, too.
I look at the sofa spot next to her, and I see a bullet hole in the wall that would line up with Mr. Matos' shoulder if he was sitting next to her.
Any slugs?
Yes, sir. One appeared to pass through him into the wall. The second was still in him, and the third was over there.
I look on the floor next to the sofa, and there is a slug with bullet wipe on the sides of it. So that's pretty obvious to me that that is the round that goes through Colleen and now winds up on the floor next to the sofa. When a bullet passes through a human body, it is at high temperature and moving at supersonic speed. So it produces blood, and the blood is literally seared onto the bullet by the heat. It's referred to as bullet wipe, but it's actually cooked blood.
Kenda also finds 3 expended casings on the floor.
So we have 3 shots fired.
380.
Pick up the casings. They're from a 380 semi-automatic, or 9mm Kurtz, short 9mm.
3 shots. This guy knew how to use a gun.
I have seen crime scenes where 20 or 30 shots are fired in an 8 by 10 foot room and nobody even gets hit. Here we have 2 people sitting on a sofa, bang, 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 everybody's dead. They are either the luckiest shooter in the world or they're really good at it.
But it's likely the killer didn't set out to shoot both Luis Matos and Colleen Johnson.
Usually when you have a double homicide, there's one intended victim. If there are other victims, it's because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The fact that the murder happened in Colleen's apartment leads Kenda to believe that she was the target.
The likelihood in my mind is great that Luis is collateral damage. Whoever came here was looking for Colleen Johnson.
In order to figure out who wanted Colleen dead, Kenda needs to learn everything he can about her.
Who does she spend her life with, and who has she been in contact in the last 48 hours that maybe made her look like this?
All right, let's go knock on some doors.
Do you know anything about the people upstairs?
No, I don't know anything, sir.
Kenda's men have no luck with the first few neighbors. But in the complex's basement, they find maintenance man Frank Lee.
Frank?
Yeah.
I'm Lieutenant Kenda. This is Detective Butler. We're investigating the shooting in apartment 21. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Absolutely.
He says he knows Colleen, talks to her quite a bit.
In fact, Frank had just spoken with Colleen earlier that evening.
So you knew her well?
Yes.
Can you tell me about her?
She was a good kid.
Well, she's a nice person. She's got financial problems, like kind of we all do, but she works hard and she tries her best, and she just had some hard luck in her life.
What was her relationship with Lewis?
They were very close. She always talked to him about her trouble.
Trouble, you said? I like the T word. What kind of trouble? She's got this boyfriend. Oh, yeah? And what's his name? His name is Alvin, but everybody calls him Sarge, because he's in the Army at Fort Carson. He said they're like oil and water, those two.
They fought all the time, and you could hear it all throughout the whole apartment building.
No matter what I do, you ain't never satisfied.
No, I'm not satisfied. We're in here. I'm not trying hard enough. Why don't you just get the hell out? Because you ain't doing nothing.
I mean, all the time. And they break up, and she yells at him, and he yells back at her, and everybody in the building knows about it. And then they kiss and make up, and then they fight again, and off they go.
Frank recalls Colleen has even called the police on Alvin.
Nah, no. Give me back my... I don't call the cops.
Hello? Yeah, I need to report stolen property. His name is Alvin Molden.
So if I'm looking for somebody, I certainly like a disgruntled boyfriend. He's been in the Army a long time. He's pretty familiar with guns. Probably pretty familiar with how to use them. 3 shots fired, 2 dead people. Alvin looks pretty good to me. So at this point, we have 2 dead people, but I believe that one of them is the target, which is the resident, Colleen Johnson. And I find out she's got a disgruntled boyfriend in the Army. That's very convenient. So our focus now is Alvin, and where is he?
Kenda and Butler head to the U.S. Army base at Fort Carson for help in locating Colleen Johnson's boyfriend, Alvin Molden.
The Army maintains a unit called CID, Criminal Investigation Division, and they are the detective bureau of the U.S. Army. And they are extremely cooperative with us.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Joe Kenda, CSPD.
Hello, Lieutenant. How may I help you?
We're looking for a soldier named Alvin, between the ages of 37 and 40 years old.
Alvin Molden. Yes. One moment.
Bang, they produce him.
The CID escorts Kenda and Butler to Sergeant Alvin Molden's barracks.
Howdy, Sergeant. This is Lieutenant Joe Kenda. He has a couple questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Alvin is cooperative.
Sergeant, do you know Colleen Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me about your relationship with her?
He's been dating her for 2.5 years. He admits to all the trouble they've had over the years.
Where were you last night between the hours of 7 and 9 p.m.?
Right here at the barracks, sir.
Can you confirm this?
Yes, he was on the guard post all those hours.
Was there the entire time?
Yes.
He has the perfect alibi. He's on guard duty in the United States Army in front of everybody and his brother. He could not have physically done this crime. So here we are with this guy that looked so good, and he's not the guy. This statue of him turns into sand and drains through your fingers.
With Alvin Molden in the clear, Kenda has to break the news of Colleen's death.
What?
I'm sorry for your loss.
He was extremely distraught. They had a bad relationship, but he loved her deeply, and it showed.
I know this is difficult, but I need to ask you a few questions. Can you think of anyone that would want to hurt Colleen?
No, sir.
He can't imagine anybody that would do that to her. Can't imagine her being in a position to even know people that would do something like that to her.
Once Sarge kind of overcame the initial shock of the news, he was able to tell police a little bit about Colleen.
I mean, she was a store clerk. I mean, she tried her best to make ends meet.
He said that she works hard, she makes little or no money, she's barely making it.
Because of her financial status, Colleen had to live in an apartment complex that wasn't the best in the Springs, and it did have some elements of some drug activity.
Did she use drugs at all?
No, sir, she didn't.
She doesn't do drugs, she doesn't buy them, doesn't sell them, doesn't tolerate people that do. Colleen made a point to avoid the criminal element that lived in and around her building. She never associated with drug dealers, she never associated with prostitutes, never associated with any of the street people that hung around there all the time. She took it upon herself to avoid them at every turn. She didn't know any of these people, she didn't want to know any of these people. And she was very careful about that. Her only crime was being poor. She lived there because she had no choice. Colleen is not a person who is causing problems for anyone.
With no indication that Colleen had any enemies, Kenda wonders if he's barking up the wrong tree.
Am I wrong to assume that Colleen is the target? What if Luis is the target? Colleen is the collateral damage, because somebody knows he's over there at her place. So now the next step, tell me about Luis.
Kenda needs to know everything he can about Luis, and he's in luck. An officer has found a friend who was with him just before the murder.
Lieutenant, there's an officer down here I need you to speak with.
What's her name?
It is Carla Cox.
Miss Cox?
Carla Cox is well known to Luis and spends a lot of time with him in his apartment.
It's clear to Kenda that Carla Cox is distraught over the death of her friend.
So you know something about what happened last night?
I didn't see anything, but I was with Luis last night. Colleen was having a bad day. That's a friend of ours. And he told me
Colleen is somewhat depressed about her boyfriend, and she wants to talk about Alvin, Sarge.
So she's having relationship problems, so he said, I'm gonna go over and talk to her. Went over to the apartment, and I went out to my patio, and I heard 3 gunshots.
So I pressed Carla a little bit, and I said, well, you know, he's not involved with it. No. But it's not that he wouldn't do that. What do you mean?
He was a ladies' man. I mean, I guess that's why he had an ex-wife.
Carla tells Kenda that Luis is in the middle of a bitter divorce.
He gets around? Oh, yeah? Yeah. And she really got mad at him for all the women he would run with.
He was known to have extramarital relationships, to include one with an 18-year-old.
She doesn't seem to be amused by his taste in young women, particularly when he's in bed with them and she catches him at it.
Baby, I'm sorry, baby. It's not what it looks like.
So now we have a new thing to think about.
I'm so sorry.
Do we have the jealous ex-wife? What if she decides that Luis's newest girlfriend is Colleen Johnson, and she goes over there to get even and shoots everybody? Could that be? Sure it could. So here we are. We've gone through one involvement with Colleen and her boyfriend. We've resolved that, but now we discover there's another issue with Luis.
The second shooting victim, Luis Matos, is embroiled in a bitter divorce that began when his wife caught him in bed with a younger woman.
Baby, I'm sorry.
So what if the ex-wife is tired of catching him in the rack with women other than her and decides the surest method to do that is to take him up? So now our new step is, where is ex-wifey and what is her story?
Lieutenant Kenda, dispatch.
Dispatch to Kenda.
I need to get an address for a Cynthia Matos.
They wanted to make sure that she wasn't a scorned ex out for revenge, getting not only her husband, but apparently her husband's new girlfriend.
Go for Kenda.
Located Luis's ex-wife. She is dead, so you'll need an interpreter.
How you doing?
Hey.
You see the interpreter?
Yes, I'm Karen.
I'm Lieutenant Kenda. This is Detective
Nice to meet
Butler. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Thank you for coming. She's right up in apartment 6.
So we go over, we talk with this woman through an interpreter.
Mrs. Matos, I'm sorry, but I need to know your whereabouts between the hours of 7 and 9 p.m. last night.
She was here with her children and her mom.
We have an alibi we can check out, we do, and it works. So this little deaf woman who is so quiet and reserved can explain her whereabouts quite well during the time frame of the murder. She has no opportunity. She may have motive, but you need opportunity, and that she doesn't have.
the murders haven't made the local news yet. Now it's up to Kenda to tell Cynthia about Luis's murder.
It's much more difficult to give a death notification through an interpreter. It's not the same as eye to eye, voice to voice. Hear my voice and feel me tell you that I'm sorry about the death of your loved one.
Mrs. Matos, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but Luis has passed away.
I have no idea what or how the interpreter said it, but I could see her almost physically jump as she was watching this woman's hands, telling her what I told her to tell her.
The police came to where I was living and told me that Luis was murdered, and I was just heartbroken.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
Even though Luis wasn't faithful to his wife, he was always there for their kids.
She had 2 children. They were Luis's children. They were going to grow up without a father.
Who's this little girl?
That's our daughter. And I said, hold on one moment, and I actually went and grabbed our son, and the police actually held our son. And you could see that the police were just so upset.
Cynthia tells Kenda that Luis was a wonderful dad.
In my line of work, you often encounter children who are victims of the loss of a loved one. It's always an awful thing. It absolutely fills me with resolve.
How old is he?
10 months.
I can't undo this. I can't make their father become alive. I can't do any of that. But I can take revenge for them. That I can do. We're going to do something here that needs to be done. And that's what I do.
So now what, boss? That's a good question.
We're in a quandary as to where to go next.
When you are conducting the investigation, sometimes you run out of leads, you run out of direction, and you have to go back to the beginning.
You always go back to the scene and you start fresh again.
So we continue pursuing knocking on doors.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm Lieutenant Kenda with the CSPD. I want to ask you about the shooting last night.
I don't know anything.
A lot of them get slammed in our face, but we're knocking anyway. We're gonna knock on every door until we get an answer from every person in this complex to see if they know anything.
3 hours into it, the officers' canvassing efforts pay off.
Hey, ma'am, how's it going? I'm Detective Bo.
A detective knocks on apartment 12 and finds a Felicia Miller, who lives in this apartment.
You know anything about what went on upstairs?
The detective immediately calls me and says, you better come down here.
So what do we got?
Felicia is in her apartment. The detective comes out in the hallway and he says, I think this is it.
Police use a lot of hardcore evidence, bullet casings and things, but police officers are also trained into body language. They're keen observers of how a person responds. And there's a gut instinct that comes with a lot of that through that training, and you rely on that.
She is nervous and frightened and furtive eye movements back and forth. Everything about her says key witness, and everything about her body language says she's afraid, but she knows. I can feel it in my bones. This is the magic I've been looking for, and I found it behind door number 12.
For exclusive footage, go to investigationdiscovery.com.
So here we are, we're working to no avail. We have promising things that fall apart. We have promising people that go away. But now we have found maybe, just maybe, somebody that has something to say.
Her name is Felicia Miller, and she lives in the apartment directly below the crime scene. She is also several months pregnant.
She's frightened, but she also has the look. And by the look, I mean the look of knowledge. So I sat down with her at the kitchen table and I said, tell me what you know about this shooting. Because you know, Felicia.
Well,
It's in your best interest to tell me what you know right now.
These girls did it.
Girls?
And that stopped me for a second. These girls did it? It is a rare thing for a woman to use a firearm in a commission of a crime. And she uses the word girls, plural.
What girls?
She says that the one girl's name is Chantel Davis, but everybody calls her Tang. And this other girl that runs with her is a little bit younger, and her name is Leah Tria Brown, but everybody calls her Mookie.
Then there's this guy that hangs out with them named Alan, but I don't know him that well.
So how do you know Tang and Mookie?
We met at a Red Cross shelter. Then they just showed up here.
Who is it?
Steve.
They come into her apartment 2 days before the shooting.
What's up, Felicia?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Yeah, I was, want to know if we could chill here for a little bit.
Okay. What's up?
Mookie, Tang, and Alan. They move in.
It's to work, right?
It's to work out.
But when Felicia let the trio into her home, she had no idea what she was getting into.
Almost immediately, they began making crack, which Felicia hadn't bargained for at all.
They just barged in and started running their drug business.
So while we're talking, to illustrate her point, she gets up from the chair and she shows me this frying pan.
See?
That has some residue in it. She shows me a plate and a paring knife and a few other things that she said they used.
This is what I'm talking about.
The method for manufacturing crack is to take some powdered cocaine and mix it with whatever you can get your hands on. Add a little water, add high heat, and it turns into a waxy soap-like substance, a 1/4 inch thick or so in the bottom of the pan. You chip that out with a pocket knife into size of about your small fingernail, and it's called a rock. That is a dose of crack.
Hey, what you want, 5 or 10s, Tank?
20, fool.
They sell at the time for $20 a rock. Crack gets its name from the sound it makes when it burns. It makes a snap, crackle, pop sound. Hence the name crack. So you buy that, you smoke it in your crack pipe, you're high for 12 to 14 minutes. Then you need another one. So you're gonna spend $70, $80 an hour to stay blasted on this stuff. Average crack addict will spend $500 or $600 a day. These two girls and Alan are in the business. They're manufacturing crack. They're selling it, and it's cash business, and everybody's coming there to buy crack.
Do Tang and Mookie use drugs?
No. As far as I know, they just deal.
I've never seen them used. They just sell it. It's just for the money. That's the only reason they do it.
What else can you tell me about them?
Tang is the one in charge.
She kept describing Tang as the leader of this little crew. That whatever Tang said, everybody did. Tang's a drug dealer. Tang has a hair-triggered temper. And even Tang's criminal associates are afraid of her. And she always carried a gun.
Do you know what kind of gun?
No idea.
So where were you when Tang and her crew got this little crack house operation up and running?
Once their business picked up, they sent me to a low motel here in the neighborhood. I guess they didn't want me in the way screwing things up.
They give her $20 to go to an incredibly low-rent motel in the neighborhood.
I hated it there. I felt like they were running me out of my own apartment.
Felicia is a very unhappy woman. These people have just sort of forced their way into her life and are conducting a criminal enterprise out of her kitchen. She's staying in this dump motel where there's no charge for whatever insect life is in the room. She just wants these people out of her life, out of her apartment.
The fact they're using her house could draw her into criminal charges. being pregnant. She doesn't need this stuff being cooked around her or the threat to her residence. So she's looking for a way to get them out.
Felicia tells Kenda and Butler that 2 days earlier she mustered up the nerve to tell Tang and her crew they had to leave. But Felicia got scared and decided to enlist the help of a trusted neighbor.
She considers Colleen Johnson to be a nice person and she likes her. So she goes to her for advice.
Yeah, we could talk. What's going on?
Colleen and Luis are having a couple drinks, and she blurts out her story.
They're cooking drugs in my apartment, and I just want them out.
No, you need to call the cops.
I can't call the cops, then I'll be a snitch.
No, by the time the cops get there, everything will be okay. The
No.
cops will handle it for you. Don't worry about that.
They'll be in jail.
If she finds out, she'll kill me.
Both Colleen and Luis tell her, call the police. They'll show up, everybody gets arrested, they're gone, the cocaine is gone, problem solved.
Well, can I use your phone?
I would, but it's been turned off, sweetie.
Luis says the phone in my apartment works. Go to my apartment and use my phone.
It's not a problem.
Okay.
Felicia says she started for Luis's apartment, but once she got to the door, she got cold feet.
On the street, the last thing you want to be known as is a snitch.
A government bill to crack down on laboratory.
She does go back and talk with Mookie and Tang to try to reason with them to have them leave her apartment.
Bob over here had a chin problem, right, Bob?
Felicia, what's up?
Chin problem, yes. I mean, I can see you still got quite.
I need for you to leave.
We just got here.
I'm serious.
Then, Felicia makes a fatal mistake.
She says to Tang and to Mookie and to Alan that she's talked to her friends, and they told me to call the police, and they're gonna come here and arrest all of you.
I just want you all to leave.
Who you told that to?
Colleen and Lewis.
Them fools upstairs?
Yeah?
She just fingered those two victims. What's Tang thinking? They know about me and the dope. They need to go away. Tang reaches into her bag, takes out her gun, sticks it in her waistband, looks at the other two.
Let's go.
Damn, that one don't work.
Not too much, bitch.
And they leave the apartment.
Felicia tells Kenda she thought Tang and her crew were leaving for good. That's when she heard the gunfire in the apartment above.
She hears voices. Then she hears gunshots.
Bruce,
What happened?
ain't nothing happened. Hey, get the dope.
They grab all their stuff and they run out the door. And Felicia never sees them again.
Fearing the worst, Felicia goes to check on Colleen and Luis.
She sees both of them laying there, and she is freaked.
Somebody call the police! Somebody call the police!
Now I've got the magic information. Chantel Davis, age 22, AKA Tang, is most likely my killer.
Kenda knows who he's looking for. Now, the trouble is finding them.
These people are in the wind. They're running, and they're not going to stop until they get out of the state of Colorado. My mission is to find them before they kill anybody else. This woman is dangerous, period, the end. So I do something then that I rarely do. We're at the point in this investigation where it's no longer in the dark.
Hey, get the dope.
We're looking for 3 suspects on the run, and at least one of them has a gun. They've already killed twice. They wouldn't hesitate to kill again. So I've taken the nuclear option.
In my career, I have never seen Kenda do this ever before, but what he did was he called a press conference.
I'm not known as particularly friendly, so the fact that I've asked for a press conference, they think is a big deal. So they all show up in like 15 minutes.
Joe's relationship with the press is pretty interesting. Joe was cautious, and it was a good thing. But when you got to know Joe as a reporter, you got to understand that he was more than just a cop. He was more than a detective. He was somebody that really cared about victims.
Thank you all for coming.
Kenda has a strategy. Use the news media to convince the killers to surrender.
Bad guys watch the news. They watch, and I know they do.
Presently, we have 3 fugitives that are on the run.
I announced to the planet, radio, TV, print media, I have active arrest warrants for the crime of first-degree murder for Chantel Davis, age 22, also known as Tang.
Latria Brown, age 19, also known as Mookie. And a third suspect that goes by Daryl Allen. They're considered armed and extremely dangerous.
In only true Joe Kenda style, he looks right into the camera, speaking to the suspects, and says,
If you're encountered by police, it's likely they'll shoot first and ask questions later.
If they would like to survive their encounter with the police, for their own safety, they need to surrender to me.
I won't hurt you, but I can't say the same about my brothers and sisters in law enforcement. If you're within the sound of my voice, you need to understand this.
I am life, and everything else is death. Make your choice. I want that message out there that they're going to get shot to death by somebody if they don't surrender to me.
when an officer like Joe Kenda looks into the camera and says, "You will be shot," best thing to do is turn yourself in.
Thank you. We won't be taking questions at this time.
One question.
Within 40 minutes, the phone rings. It's Chantel Davis. She's at the bus station in Colorado Springs, and Mookie is with her. And they want to surrender so the police don't kill them.
Within minutes, Kenda's men are at the bus station, ready to apprehend their suspects.
When the officers approach the bus station, they see Chantel and Mookie standing there with their hands in the air. They handcuff them and bring them to me.
10 years, the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you wish to waive these rights? I need a verbal answer.
Yeah. I don't know nothing about shooting people, so yeah.
Tang is mad at everybody and mad at me too. We sit and talk for a few minutes.
Do you own a gun?
No.
Have you ever owned a gun?
Yeah.
She did have a gun once, but she left it at her aunt's house when her aunt threw her out. And then she says that bitch probably pawned it.
Where were you last night?
Me and Mookie were at Big Bird's house all day and all night.
You mean Alan Covington? Alan Covington is a person known to me who goes by the street name of Big Bird. Yes.
So you know anything about a shooting?
Look, I don't know what you're talking about.
But I figured the cops would shoot my ass if I didn't come in and surrender, so I did.
But I'm done talking. I want my lawyer.
All right.
When she asked me for a lawyer in the interview, I said, okay, it's all done. We're all done, honey. It's extremely rare that you have a person like Tang, who is a female, who has enough nerve and enough grit to have minions under her control, Mookie and Alan. I have very seldom seen that. She is such a hard case. For a 22-year-old kid, she's got eyes made out of stone.
With Tang refusing to cooperate, Kenda hopes he'll have better luck with her partner, Latria Brown, aka Mookie.
Mookie says the same story, chapter and verse, because they rehearsed it.
Where were you last night?
Man, me and Tang were at Big Bird's.
You were there the whole time?
Yep.
Oh, yeah? Well, we'll see about that. Latria Brown, you're under arrest for murder. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
But Kenda knows that in order to make the charges against Tang and Mookie stick, he's going to need some more concrete evidence.
I need the gun, and I don't have one.
So he tracks down the aunt Tang mentioned in her interrogation.
We go see her. She says, oh yeah, she was here. Her and Mookie, they came here, they stayed here for a few days. I threw their ass out.
Why was that?
Cuz those two girls ain't nothing but thugs.
Oh, Tang is nothing but trouble, man. That girl is mad at the world. And she said, you know that girl's got a gun? Oh, yeah? What do you know about a gun?
She keeps it in her room.
Mind if we take a look?
Go ahead, whatever.
So we search the room, we find a receipt for the gun in her name for a Lorcan 380 auto.
Hey, Lieutenant, have a look at that.
It's the same make and model used in the shooting.
That's the right caliber.
We find a box of 50 rounds of ammunition. It is the same brand of the expended casings we find in the crime scene. There are 31 rounds that are missing out of that box. We don't know where those 31 rounds are, but I know where 3 of them are. They were used in apartment 21.
While the discovery of the ammunition does bolster the case,
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry to bother you.
it's still largely circumstantial.
It's not enough to convict anybody of anything. I need a miracle to make this all come together, and the miracle arrives in the oddest form. It's called the truth. I get a phone call from the Sand Creek Division, one of our area commands. Said a guy just walked in here and announced that he is Daryl D. Allen.
Hey, I'm Daryl Allen. I was with Chantel Davis and Latria Brown. I hear on the news I'm wanted for murder.
Perfect. So we blast down to the Sand Creek Division to have a heart-to-heart with our man, Daryl.
Daryl Allen represents Kenda's last, best chance to get to the bottom of what happened.
You're in a real jam here, Daryl. Right now, we're thinking you did this. You tell me the truth, I might be able to help you out.
I ain't shoot nobody.
Tang did. Okay, Daryl, now we're cooking. Tell me what happened.
Daryl confirms that when Felicia Miller revealed Luis Matos and Colleen Johnson had urged her to call the cops, Tang snapped.
Let's go.
So they go upstairs to apartment 21. They knock.
What's this? I guess y'all was down at Felicia's, huh? We need to talk.
Tang never says a word. She draws the gun. And shoots Colleen in the chest. She turns the gun, shoots Luis in the shoulder. Then Tang shoots him in the chest. And he falls dead on the floor.
Oh my God!
Let's go!
You know what happened to the gun?
Tang forced me to get rid of the gun. She had me go a couple blocks down from the apartment, tossed it in this field off of Arvada Street, I think.
Lieutenant, I found something.
We go up there with a team and we search the field in daylight, and within 30 minutes we find it all. So now we've taken into ballistics, and the ballistic reports comes back, says that the expended casings were fired from that gun, and all 3 of the fatal bullets were fired from that gun as well.
Now armed with physical evidence and eyewitness testimony, Kenda's case against them is airtight. Daryl Allen and Latria Brown both plead guilty to accessory to murder. They each serve 5 years in state prison. However, Chantel Davis refuses to take a plea. But in a strange twist, her case never makes it to trial.
Chantel Davis, also known as Tang, dies in custody during an epileptic seizure. Chantel Davis knew one thing: violence. Do what I want, or I will kill you. Did I shed a tear when Chantel bought the big one? No, I didn't.
But Chantel's untimely death doesn't change the fact that she took the lives of 2 innocent people.
There were good-natured, kind-hearted people living with people who didn't care about human beings. And the collision of those lives together ended up in the deaths of Colleen and Louise.
What is probably the most important thing about this case is true innocence exposed. You have people who were trying to help somebody that lived in their building, trying to give her sound advice, and they died for it. It's the saddest thing when an innocent person dies over nothing.